A nice fat Tuesday weather-wise here in central and eastern Kentucky. We started out with full sunshine, bit of a west breeze, and that pushed the afternoon highs over the 60-degree mark in many locations. That upward trend will continue. Spring-like record warmth moving in beginning tomorrow. Of course, we will be dodging some rain and thunder midweek along with a good bit of wind. Unsettled pattern rolls on this weekend. That's a little problematic given the fact, of course, we had the flooding rains at the end of the week. A lot of the area rivers are still running high, and additional rainfall could create a few issues. Some filtered sunshine now with the sun setting here within the next half hour or so. Got that boundary down to our south, but looking good here with our Bluegrass Pace Care Sky VHC Camera Network. Richmond, EKU now down to 55. Winds lightening up a bit, so it actually should be a fairly pleasant evening as we drop down into the 50s. It looks like our lows for the day on Wednesday will be probably right after midnight because temperatures are going to be increasing after they drop off initially. So there's a boundary sitting to our south. Weak high pressure will give way, and this warm front, as it arcs to the north, moisture will ride up and over it, but it's the leading edge of some very unseasonably warm air. That's an understatement. In fact, across parts of South Carolina and down into central Florida, for example, Orlando, if they hit 91, which is the forecast high tomorrow, that would be the warmest February temperature on record there in Orlando. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the amount of warmth we're dealing with. As far as our futurecast goes, you see showers and a few rumbles of thunder beginning to crank up during the early hours of Wednesday as that warm front buckles to the north. You'll notice a lot of the day dry, so that's kind of unusual when we get this warm, and these temperatures may actually be a little bit low in spots. I think definitely mid-70s. Of course, the wind will have a lot to do with that, along with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Once the sun comes up, that's when you see those gusts 40 to 45, and that's going to continue throughout the day, the evening, and at least the early part of the overnight into early Thursday. And because of that, here in the Bluegrass Wind Advisory, 11 a.m. tomorrow until 1 a.m. Thursday, back to the west and southwest, closer to that first wave of energy. A little different setup than we typically see when we've got the big warm up and then a cool down. The wave of low pressure goes by to our north, so we see rain and storms tomorrow night into early Thursday as well. We'll have to watch for any strong storm potential, but notice as the main surface cold front comes in here on Thursday afternoon, still have that strong southerly flow and spring-like and near record highs, but note the lack of moisture. So we're not going to be dealing with any big rain event just prior to those temperatures crashing, and it's all relative. I mean, we dropped down to 46, but keep in mind our average high by then into the upper 40s. So not far off. That next wave of low pressure, that will keep things unsettled is a good word for it. It's not going to be a washout this weekend. As you see, you will see a few showers from time to time, but a more significant system coming in on Monday, and that's of more concern because any additional heavy rain on the saturated ground could create some flooding issues, especially with the rivers running high. So windy to breezy the next few days. Look at that. Upper 70s, definitely going to reach the record high of 70 tomorrow. Set back in 1922 for Lexington, and then your scattered showers over the course of the weekend. And ahead of that system that will bring rain and a few storms, we spike back up into the upper 60s early next week.